Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is just a roundup of the weekend that's just gone. It was a busy weekend. But that was planned. I got myself smartened up and went into town to a theatre called the ARC, where it was hosting the Inaugural Steampunk Event for Stockton-on-Tees. The Friday I went along and it was just the traders setting up. So I took advantage of the bare spaces and filmed what it's like inside the ARC in some of the rooms. And that was interesting. I also sussed out the parking. I wanted to go possibly multiple times over the weekend of the Friday and the Saturday. I wanted to go, come back, download any video files, charge the batteries on the new camera, and then return, park up, a short walk, and explore the venue. I decided to use a walking stick, as this has a couple of benefits. It gives people a clue that I'm not 100% stable on my feet. I don't have to explain, it just is. And it's a great saviour for my walking. I can actually use it to quite an advantage. The walking stick, that is. So there I was, smartened up. Or so I thought. When I look back at myself on some of the videos, shock horror. Now it's normal for people who produce videos to not like what they hear, i.e. your voice. But we think we know what we look like when we get smartened up. But anyway, I'm still getting over the shock horror of seeing myself and how I look. It's this age thing. It's no use pretending. You are what you are. At 73, there's people older and fitter than me doing things that I would never aspire to. And there's also people younger than me who aren't doing half the things that I aspire to and sometimes achieve. The roller coaster of life means some days you can take life on, and some days you have to just sit back or roll with the flows. I guess I'm suffering from a little bit of the weekend taking more out of me than I expected. Getting back to what I did. Friday, I did a reconnaissance, got some brochures, some flyers rather, talked to the staff in the ARC, who were all very handy, cooperative, learned where the lifts were, because I decided I was going to be using the lift to get access to the upper floors and even from the lower floor. Returning home, I chanced upon a convoy of motorcycles, all returning from a charity run to a local place where they care for children and people in need during the last days of illness. All of these motorcycles were dressed as Santas. Lots of the motorcycles had adornments on them. There was lots of inventiveness. I took the chance to film it. I was at pole position at the traffic lights when I saw these motorcyclists. There was that many of them. There must have been an arrangement, because they stopped the lights to let them all go through without normal lights functioning. I enjoyed watching it, and then I realised I had my new camera by me on the seat. Now, during picking it up and setting it going, I realised that I had it set for indoor low lighting. But being a new camera, I wasn't au fait with how to easily switch from one function to another. So I just let it carry on filming. When I got home and viewed the footage, it had a green hue. So that was a challenge. How to get rid of the green cast and bring back some decent lighting. Well, you may have seen what my attempt was, and the view was predominantly people on motorcycles in red attire, and that's what they got in the finished short video. There's probably lots of better video out there, but it was nice to just see them. When I viewed the indoor footage, I was very pleased with the low lighting function of the camera. So that was a setting I would remember for the Saturday when I returned. Sure enough, Saturday came. I got up, looked at the flyer again, saw what was happening, where and when. Got myself smartened up, went, got parked very easily just across the road. So that was absolutely fantastic. Went into the downstairs market as it was. Now this was a steampunk event, and I'd gone to explore the social element of it. So the market was going to be a chance to see what was available to buy. And it was also an opportunity to film. Now, I hadn't taken into consideration that these venues sometimes have music going on. And this may well have led to copyright strikes by YouTube, but more of that later. I wandered round the market, asking each stallholder if it was okay to film. The receptionist at the ARC had actually tipped me off that because these people, majority of them, dress up, they're over the moon when somebody takes the photo or takes an interest in them. So I guess that's logical when you think about it. So off I went around from stall to stall. Some very interesting people, some great conversations with the stall holders and their products. It turned out this downstairs market was also going to be the venue for the fashion show. And I look forward to that because it would show me steampunk costumes for men and women, hopefully. So I look forward to it. I circled the market and then another scan of the flyer, and I realised there was an upstairs market. Knowing my way around the lifts at this point, I discovered the market and repeated the asking the stall holders for permission to film, and then discussing their produce and products with many of the stall holders, and they were very forthcoming. And I even got to try on one of their hats. Yeah. Not quite as extravagant as I'd wanted. I wanted to try a tall top hat on, but they only had these medium-sized top hats. Anyway, it produced a photo, a memorable photo, something to keep. Looking round the rest of the level 2 market, I got a good understanding of the side hustles that these steampunk fans are interested in, and that's always useful. I went, had a much needed cuppa in the cafeteria. Surprise, surprise, they didn't take cash. So that was a card only transaction. I was very good and steeled myself not having anything to eat at the same time to spoil my keto regime. Now bear in mind, I'd had a large bacon, egg, tomato, mushroom omelette before I went. So that was supposed to last me through the day. I went to watch the fashion show. It was absolutely mobbed. I managed to get most of the way through to the front, used my stick throughout for balance, and I filmed it on the low light settings. Got home, viewed it, it looked good, uploaded it, and got a YouTube strike for the music. So what did I want to do? Well, I would use the part where the guy on stage introducing the show, and then I would cut the music, and it was an opportunity to try and use some of my new piano sounds. Listening back, I wasn't very pleased with this sound, but I needed something just as background as the models, as you might call them, introduced each of the steampunk type clothing range. No feedback on the videos, so I haven't got a clue whether it worked or not. Oh dear me, I guess I've got a long way to go on the piano. Not being a pianist, you'd think that would be a big problem, but anyway, back to the show. One of the events that I wanted to see during the weekend was called Bartitsu. It's not a wind-up, It's a martial art, and it was being demonstrated 3 times throughout the Saturday in a dance studio upstairs. I got to see 2 of the 3 half-hour plus shows and meet the people that are demoing. Very interesting. I would advise anybody to look into it, especially if you're interested in martial arts. The first demo was all about Bartitsu, the history of it, and then the second demo was mainly to do with swords, how they developed over the years and centuries for different purposes, and it was absolutely fantastic. I would love to have gone back for the 3rd show, but it was too late for me with my food regime and energy levels. The people I saw were from about an hour away in Jesmond near Newcastle, so just too far for me to enjoy going to regular classes. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. That left me with lots of video files and lots of videos to make. I ended up making 4 videos Sunday. I was up very, very early with anticipation, and then I set off making the motorcycle convoy, very short video, the fashion show with the music, then without the music when I saw the YouTube copyright strike. When I say strike, it was, the music copyright was not going to be classed as a strike, an act against me. It just meant that the music couldn't be published in certain countries, and I don't know which these were. YouTube doesn't elaborate. And I just took the easy option and deleted the video completely, and then uploaded it again with my musical soundtrack. I say musical. I'll let you be the judge of that. Then I made a video of walking around the markets and the conversations. Very little editing in that. And the video I did want to make was the Bartitsu video, where I got to show these exponents of the martial art demonstrating in the dance studio. So 4 videos. Now, I have this opinion that if you upload one video to YouTube, certain things happen. It gets passed out to subscribers, obviously, and then it's recommended for other people, and the more people who watch, the more it's recommended. But if you subsequently upload a second video, it somehow stops that first video in its tracks. And you don't get so much growth. But can you see how this is hard to back to justify? So it's only my thoughts and theories. Now that's uploading a second video, stopping the range of the first. So what subsequently happens with the third and fourth video is not for me to understand yet, but it may instruct me over the coming weeks when I see the hit rate of the various 4 videos. There's lots of variables involved in that, so that won't be an exact science. Anyway, making the videos, uploading them, watching them to check, and then making them public. One little tip: when I upload a video, I always check the private box until it's fully loaded, because YouTube starts to show your video at low res and then improves it as it is processed. So if you were particularly proud of your high-res video and you want people to only see that, then don't leave it public from the beginning. Check the private box until you see the required 4K or whatever it is for your processing, and only when you're happy with the high-res version do you uncheck that private box and make it public and share it. That was just a little tip for us that produce videos. Seeing myself on the video, I guess I'm used to my voice, but I wasn't used to seeing myself. At one point I left the camera rolling when I went to shake hands with the Bartitsu people, and I was astonished how old and infirm and not as well turned out as I thought. My jeans could certainly do with an iron running over them. So, a couple of issues over the weekend, and a really enjoyable. Would I do it again? Definitely. Would I go further afield? Possibly. Am I taking up Bartitsu? Not in the near future. It's just something else that's captivated me for a short while. Even making this video where the new camera is pointing out my front window at my bare cherry tree in its November state. Even making this video is me battling to overcome feeling slightly down, being realistic and thinking you can't do anything without using up some energy. So this is on my road to recovery. Thanks for watching. Join me again soon.